Hey everyone, and thanks for jumping back into the cryptoverse. I thought we would go ahead and do a live stream to maybe capture some of this Ether price movement. Obviously, too early to say yet how long this will continue, but we are coming in a little bit hot here. Um, so Ethereum's moving up, right? I mean, I know the quote is the cat's away, so the mice will play. But in this situation, we typically refer to Bitcoin as the dog that just runs, and the cat won't come out until the dog has stopped running for a little bit, because the cat will get spooked, right? And we don't want Ethereum to get spooked. So while the dog is doing whatever it wants to do, chilling at 40,500, maybe the cat will come out to play. So we're coming in hot here at a $1,270 Ether. So let's see if we can push this to a new local top. To do that, we need to get over 1291. So hopefully Bitcoin is just chilling for a little bit. You can see that. Actually, let's get to it in a second. Let me post this video in a couple different places. All right, so we just want to keep an eye on things. Again, it's not too crazy yet, but when you look at the Ether Bitcoin, valuation, we're moving up, right? We're moving up. We were at 0.03, 30 minutes ago, right here. 44 minutes ago, 45 minutes, 47 minutes ago, we were at 0.03. Now we're at 0.031. Again, if you're in bed, it's nothing to get out of bed for. But if we keep coming in hot like this, maybe we're going to be putting in a $1,300 Ether. And you guys know me, I'm not going to miss the chance to potentially live stream a $1,300 Ether. And I'm not a patzer here. We're gonna try to catch that on the stream. So currently we're at 1275. And we showed some charts recently where we talked about this, and where was it? It was this one, right? This was our chart back in December. This was updated as of yesterday. This is the Ether Bitcoin ROI. We said nothing goes up monotonically except Bitcoin since October. Ethereum Bitcoin certainly does not go up monotonically because it's very dependent on Bitcoin volatility. You can see that the other years when Bitcoin held above its 20-week moving average from December to March, this was the path it was on. Okay, hopefully Ethereum is still getting moving. Right, we want it to keep moving, and show us what it's capable of. So again, we hold Ether because we expect higher returns than Bitcoin, and if we never get that, then it obviously calls into question why we hold it. Certainly, recency bias would arguably say that Bitcoin has been the better investment over the last few months. But over the macro scale, Ether, while it does have more downside volatility, it does tend to give good returns as long as you're not that schmuck coming in at the top and watching it go down 90%. So just don't be that guy, right? Don't be that guy. But anyways, how's everyone doing tonight? Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you guys like the content. Also, let's pull up let's look at a longer time frame for a minute and pull up our regression band just to see how far off of it we are. So this is where we are. Man, who remembers the good old days? The opportunity of a lifetime accumulation phase for Ethereum, which we discussed, and the reaccumulation phase of a lifetime. And then parabolic, right? Parabolic. So off the fair value line, which we're not saying we're going to go to the fair value line anytime soon, we've gone above it for really long periods of time before. We left the fair value here at $10 and we came back down to it at $80. So off the fair value, we are in fact about modest 325%, a modest 325%. And if we go look at the weekly, let's look at, and actually I guess I need to pull this up on a different exchange that has a little bit more history. And if we go look at the weekly, this is the natural log of the price divided by the 20-week SMA. So let's see what we're doing. We talked about, we did those garbage short-term prediction videos, short-term price prediction stuff to just see where we might be if we reach certain levels of overvaluation. You can see that we've completely cleared that mark and we reached those short-term predictions. So that's history at this point because we blasted past $900. Because when we first talked about it, we were like 700. So we blasted past that region. The next level of overvaluation that I'm looking at to potentially reach is this level. Okay, and so Bitcoin is moving a little bit. It's up to 40.6K. Let's see Ether Bitcoin. It's coming back down slightly from 0315. We're back at 0313. So we'll keep an eye on Bitcoin. We'll see if Bitcoin's really going to start sleeping or if it's just letting Ethereum run for a few minutes before it takes the show back. But anyways, if we go back and look at this level of overvaluation that we were at in January of 2018, and given Bitcoin's price movement, there's no definitive reason why we shouldn't get there. Of course, there's no guarantee that we will, but it's not impossible for us to get there. So if we were to get there, let's do the math. They did the math, right? So it would correspond to a valuation of around 1.05 or so. Let me zoom in to get it perfect. So actually 1.02. And again, this equation, as we said before, right, is just the log of the price divided by the 20-week. Right, that's all it is. And the 20-week, if we pull up our bull market support band, is sitting at it's sitting at 529.56. So let's just speculate. Log of the price divided by 529. What did I say? 529.56 or 529.63. 529.63 equals 1.02. That would correspond to a 1468 Ether. So if we get to a 1468 Ether in the short term, then we would get to that level of overvaluation. However, we are going to be putting in a weekly close tomorrow, and so we expect the 20-week SMA to move up. Suppose that by the time we reach that level of overvaluation, the 20-week moving average is actually, instead of at 529, maybe it's at 550. Let's say it's at 550 by the time we reach it. So if it is at 550 by the time we reach it, and we reach that level of overvaluation from the 20-week, it would actually correspond to just over a $1,500 Ether, so a 1525. So we'll keep an eye on things. Bitcoin is slightly moving here, so the ratio hasn't really changed, although Ether is still at 1275. We want to, on Coinbase, we want to break 1292. So 1292 is the target to break our or to get above our local top, not our all-time high, not our global top, but our local top. Remember, if you want to think about local tops or local minimums and global minimums, if you're minimizing a function and you're here and you minimize it and then you go to here, that doesn't mean you're at the global bottom or the global minimum. It could be over here, right? So this is like the local minimum. So to get to the global, sometimes you have to apply other types of analysis to get it over this threshold, and then it can get down to an even lower state. So think about that when I talk about local tops and global tops, but obviously it's inverted and it doesn't really apply in the same manner at all. But that's why I talk about it like that. So the local top is $1292. The global top is over $1,400. So let's go back over to, let me see if I have this other indicator. I'm not sure if I put it in here. Actually, this might be an interesting one. So we haven't showed this one before. I don't know if we've showed this one before on the channel. This one, so this one will be a new one for you guys, I think. We've showed it for Bitcoin, but I don't know if we've showed it for Ethereum. This is, at least not through TradingView. So this is the log of the price divided by the fair value. So of course we've showed this with Bitcoin a lot. We've not shown it for Ethereum. So let's see where that would put us. So if we were to reach that level right here, so more or less, you know, and if we extend it, right, so if we reach, oops, so if we reach this level of overvaluation, and we also came down here, so if we reach that, it corresponds to 2.11 in the short term. So if we were to go to 2.11 in the short term, where would that put us? Well, we'll see, 2.11, but now we're actually taking it off the quote-unquote fair value. And the fair value, according to this regression curve, by the way, which tries to identify the non-bubble data. If you're wondering why I'm talking quietly, it's because my 1-year-old is sleeping right behind me. So here and here. So these are the accumulation phases, and then we are essentially just putting in our Ethereum mountain range, right? Our first peak, second peak, third peak, fourth peak. Where's the fifth peak going to be, right? Where is it going to be? I don't know, but we're certainly going to keep an eye on it. So from here, we need to look at the fair value. The fair value is 211.49. So if the fair value is 211.49 and we're overvalued by that level, then would actually put it at a 1744 ether. So again, we're not saying we're going to get to a 1744 ether. We're just simply saying that if we reach the same level of overvaluation that we reached here and bottomed here, and if we were to go up like that, then it would put us at around a $1,700 ether. But of course, that assumes we get there tomorrow. Likely not going to go to $1,700 tomorrow, but remember a week ago the price was like $700, so it's not out of the question. But again, this is not financial advice. That, you know, of course the price could crash at any time. It depends on Bitcoin. So if the fair value, of course, were, you know, 220 by the time we get there, then it might correspond to an $1,800 ether, right? So here's Bitcoin. Let's look at Ether again. Let's remove all this nonsense. So let's see where the bull market support band is. So the bull market support now ranges from almost 530 up to 585. So 530 up to 585. And we're not saying we're going to go there, but anyone who's been in crypto long enough knows that these numbers are always possible, right? They're always possible. You know, we went from $1,400 to $80, so it's always possible. Ethereum will you know, volatility is going to be insane over the next few years, more than likely. So we just want to keep it in the back of our heads. We recognize there's, you know, we're not approaching this like, you know, like there's no risk involved, right? There's always risk involved, but we're just accepting the potential downside risk even in a bull market, and we don't even know if we would hold it. We're trying to accept the potential downside risk for the upside price volatility, right? We're making a calculated investment. We'll see if it pays off. So far, I don't know about you guys, but it's been paying off pretty damn well. We're up over 10x this year. Okay, let's take a measured move from March. 1,300%. Let's suppose you didn't catch the wick. let's suppose you were in bed and didn't feel like getting up for it. You could have easily bought at 122. You would be looking at a 10x move. So you would be looking, in fact, at a 10x move in a very short period of time. So, pretty good so far, right? Pretty good so far. But hopefully the party's just getting started, right? I mean, we don't know. I don't like to think that this channel is filled with moon boys, right? I don't want this channel to be filled with moon boys. I did work at NASA once though, so maybe I could be considered one. One of the things we spoke about too was this chart. This was the running Ethereum 1 year ROI, right? This was the 1 year ROI for Ethereum, and we've noted that we have been moving up. If we overlay the Bitcoin one, we can see that Ethereum peaked a little over 100x. Bitcoin, one market cycle behind, was around 100x. And then the second time, if we compress it, went to around 25x. Hopefully Ethereum can get to a 25x, right? That would be nice. Yeah, so I worked at NASA Johnson as an undergraduate student. I designed the lunar rover component of a distributed space simulation, but this was back in like 2011. It was 10 years ago actually. I started that internship 10 years ago. Anyways, let's go back and take a look. 1281. 1283. Are we going to be pushing? Are we going to be breaking the local top? Let's see. So here we are on Coinbase 1283. We know the local top is 1291. It looks like I need to turn on slow mode because the chat is not necessarily... Okay, slow mode is enabled. Slow mode is enabled. Hey guys, I'm right there with you, right? We want to see ADA go up. I have some ADA. We want to see it go up. We got our eye on it. We always got our eye on it. It's at 33 cents. It's our friend too, but right now we're focusing on Ethereum. Of course, we want to see ADA go up. Link's coming in hot too. Is 1730, but let's keep it on the down low. I don't want. Let's just let it do its thing for a little bit. Okay, so the Ethereum Bitcoin valuation is 0.0314. So we've made it back to pi, right? Around the pi value. We'll see if we can break the local top at 1291. We're a stone throw away, right? We're a stone throw away. We'll see if we can Bitcoin move down $100. So Ether moved down a little bit. If you guys like the content, remember to subscribe and give the video a thumbs up. Let's go for 90,000 subscribers. You know, hindsight is crazy. You know, it really is crazy when you look at this, because if we're gonna come back and look at this in years, right? And we're gonna look at this move and say, okay, well, this was 175 days, 24.25%, or to the top 19,000%, and we're probably gonna measure this one from either here or here. And you can see that it's up 1,338% over 310 days. It certainly doesn't always feel like it when you're in it, right? I mean, think about 2020. How many people got very nervous about Ethereum at various points during 2020? But then you take a step back and you're like, oh, oh, look at that. Look at this move. And then you'll have people in the future saying, "Oh man, these lucky guys that were buying Ethereum down here, and it just went straight up." It certainly doesn't feel like that when you're living through it, right? It certainly doesn't feel like that But again, hindsight has a way of simply elucidating what the truth was, and this is what the truth was, right? And then blast off. All right, coming in hot out of 1285 Ethereum. Let's put the Ether Bitcoin valuation, by the way, is, let's go back to our monthly candles because that's always fun to look at. I'm not really sure what's going on here. Oh, I'm going the wrong. I'm not really sure what happened here. So again, found support at the 20-month. If you guys follow the channel, you know we've been talking about the 20-month for a long time. The 50-month is hopefully where we can make it. That's where we hope to make it. And the 50-month is where we found resistance exactly in the summer, right? So in the summer, we found resistance at the 50-month. And in a bull market, we tend to find support at the 20-month, right? And we've formed that same type of 2-month bottom, right? So same thing over here, a 2-month bottom at the 20-month, and then here a 2-month bottom at the 20-month. Same thing, 2-month bottom at the 20-month, and hopefully, hopefully we're getting back on track here. We'll switch this back over to the weekly time frame. I'm not sure what happened to my blue, to these lines. They're really far off of where they were before. I'll have to figure this out later. I'm not even sure where I had them. I think it was something like that. No. Not sure how I had that. I think it was like that. This one looks weird. I don't know. I'll have to fix this later. I'm not sure what happened here. But anyways, we came below it, right? We came below it. A wick all the way down into December. Remember the end of December. Don't forget it. All right, we lived through it. We made that video. Ethereum was around $700, and a week and a half later, we're looking at a 1285 Ether. So, who in the chat remembers the end of December? Because they tell you guys, a January can come in quick. I mean, it comes in fast for Ether sometimes. Not all the time, but a lot of times you get into January and the market changes, right? The market changes. Oh, that was what was going on. You guys are right. Is this not a... Yeah, it wasn't on log. Thank you guys for catching that. I'm not sure how I clicked off log because I'm always on log, so I guess I must have accidentally clicked off of it. Yeah, so we're back on log, so that's how it should look. Let's go back to the weekly. So yeah, we're back in business, right? Ethereum's back in business here, just like we thought it would do in Q1. So really not a huge surprise. It's just a matter of, did you take the risk, right? So it's like, did you take the risk on it? Were you okay with the potential downside? And if you were, then you took the risk, and so far, that risk is very much paying off. So if we go back and look at the Ethereum Bitcoin valuation, let's just get a quick idea as to how it has performed going into Q1 in the past. We've talked about it before. I imagine now that we're actually here, there might be a little bit more interest in it. So I'm just going to delete all this so we can see this a little bit more clearly. Okay, clean chart. Are the trend lines we've had drawn for a long time, and now we're just going to simply take a measured move from the December bottom going into Q1. So that one was a 2,000% move. Do we expect that this time around? Of course not. We're pragmatic. We recognize diminishing returns are likely a thing. Not going to see that. 700% the next year. The following year, it was a 400% move. So we have a 1,900% move against Bitcoin, a 700% move against Bitcoin, a 400% move against Bitcoin. This year, it was a modest 60%. I mean, it's hard to get out of bed for 60% because we're spoiled, because it's crypto. The last year we talked about it, right? We talked about the end of December being a really good time to historically buy Ethereum with Bitcoin, and we ended up going up 67%. Maybe you want to get out of bed for it, maybe not. Ethereum's coming in hot at the local top of $1291.94. So let's see if we can ring in a $1,300 Ethereum. There's a rumor that we need to get to 1,000 likes in order for Ethereum to get to $1,300. Is it true? I don't know, but we'll see, right? 1,000 likes maybe equals a $1,300 Ethereum. Now, if we go back again, so we had 67%, and what will history remember this year as? Well, so far, Ethereum is up 40% against Bitcoin, but we've had a wick up to 53%. So far, history will remember this year, so far, it's having a 53% move right when Q1 started, right? Right when Q1 started, and do we want it to stop there? Absolutely not, right? Absolutely not. We want it to go up significantly higher. Hopefully we can extend this all the way up to the 50-month moving average, which is around this level, 0.0415 or so. If we go up there, then it would be an 83% move against Bitcoin, and if it's at 0.0415, so if we are able to reach it and it goes to 0.0415, and the valuation of Bitcoin at the time is say 40,800, which Bitcoin price is not invariant, so it will change, but then it might correspond to a $1,700 Ether. So we'll see where it takes us, right? We'll see where it takes us. But in the chat, let me know. Were you buying Ethereum in here? Let's overlay the regression band, right? Were you buying it in here? Were you buying it in here? The reaccumulation phase, right? If you missed this move, Ethereum was kind enough. It was so kind that it came back down and gave everyone another chance. Ethereum has been very kind to us. Okay, so let's see if we can put in a new local top. We need to get to 1291.94 to push the limit here on Ethereum's local top. So we're coming in pretty hot. Let's switch over to a minute time frame and see what's going on. Looks like we're moving up. Remember to subscribe to the channel and give the video a thumbs up if you guys like the content. We're moving up. If we draw, a trend line at the bottom, well, can't really. It's not really that impressive, but looks like we just put in a new local top at 1292.92. If we keep moving at this pace, we should be at a $1,300 Ethereum, maybe within 10 minutes. Maybe within 10 minutes, we'll be at a $1,300 Ethereum. So let's keep a close eye on it. We're not going to miss an opportunity to ring in a $1,300 Ethereum because you know what comes after $1,300 in increments of $100? $1,400. And once we get to $1,400, that's a big deal. It's a big deal because that was the global top. That was the all-time high for Ethereum. So make sure you subscribe and give the video a thumbs up if you want to see a $13 Ethereum. Ether Bitcoin is moving up as well. So if we zoom back in and look at, say, the hourly chart, look at this. Look at this candle. We live for these candles. They say Bitcoin is the only thing, but no, it's not true. It's just simply not true. Ethereum has put in amazing returns. Even since March, it's put in amazing returns. So let's just see if we can keep climbing the ladder here and push towards a $1,300 Ethereum. Remember, if you guys like the content, you should check out the Telegram channel. The party's going in there 24/7. So if you're looking for a crypto community that's fairly well moderated, check out the Telegram channel, and you can talk crypto till your heart's content. We also do have the premium list. You can find that at intothecryptoverse.com if you want to know how I'm navigating these markets. But enough with that. Let's ring in a $1,300 Ethereum, right? Let's get down to business here. It takes focus. It's not much, but it's it's honest work. Let's get to 1,000 likes. Where we need 44 more likes. Let's get to 1,000 likes to ring in a $1,300 Ethereum. We're only about $5 away. Ether Bitcoin is now at 0.0316. I think we're gonna make it. Not financial advice. We'll see what happens. We're getting close. We need about $5 more. We're over 1,000 likes. So that barrier, the 1,000 like barrier has been broken. If we look at our time frame here, if we continue moving up at this pace, I'm just going to draw a line through the data. Obviously, I know that's not how you draw trend lines, but let's just draw it through it and see, from here, if we go on that track, it still could be a little bit longer before we get there. But hopefully we don't get a strong rejection at it. And it's nice because, again, Bitcoin's still at 40,826. Remember, Bitcoin is like a dog. It just runs. It can spook Ethereum very easily, and we don't want Ethereum to get spooked. So if Bitcoin volatility goes up or back down, Ethereum's going to get spooked, and the Ethereum Bitcoin ratio will likely not continue climbing. But if Bitcoin, if it can just like wag its tail in the corner, maybe it's getting belly rubs or something, then the cat will come out to play. And it's coming out to play right now, as hopefully we are about to ring in a $1,300 Ethereum for the first time since 2018. So we need about $4. Can we get $4? We're living through history. Link is at 1734. 8 is at 33.5 or 33.5 cents. Ether Bitcoin still looking strong at 0.0317. We're at 1297. Do I have a 1298? I think maybe I was an auctioneer and we just hit 1299. We just hit 1299. I don't care what it is on other exchanges. I'm sure it's already hit $1,300 somewhere. I'm guessing it has. We're looking at this one. We're at 1295. This is why we're here. We hold Ethereum because this is what it can do. And don't you forget it, right? Don't you forget it. Everyone's getting bearish on Ethereum because it moved from 700 to 1100, or it moved from 700 to 1200 in like a day or a couple days, and then it didn't do anything for a week. You just got to give it a week sometimes, right? You got to let Bitcoin calm down, Bitcoin volatility come down, and then Ethereum can run again. 1298. Do we have a $1,300 Ether on the cards? I mean, after we get to a $1,300 Ether, we're going to reach those levels of overvaluation once we get above 1,400 that we've seen in the past. So we're going to want to keep an eye on that. A little over $1,400, I believe. We're almost there, guys. We're almost there. Keeping an eye on Bitcoin. Bitcoin is still sitting still, which is good. We want Bitcoin to sit still so Ether can keep running. 1296. I don't care if it's over $1,300 over other places. We're looking at this one. Remember to subscribe if you guys like the content, and give the video a thumbs up. Oh, coming back down a little. Coming back down a little, 1294. Let's get back up. Let's go back to the 1290. Someone is selling a little bit here. 1289. Bitcoin is still sitting at 40.8. So it seems like Bitcoin is still doing exactly what it needs to do for Ethereum to theoretically continue this move. Link is at 1744, and ADA is still at 33 cents or so. Someone says, can we get the 1 second chart? Sure. The anxiety chart. This is our 1 second chart. We're getting close, guys. We are getting close. Someone clearly offloaded some ether here. Link is doing well too. I mean, look at it. It's 1750, so Link is moving as well. Someone says 10 seconds, 1 second's too much. Nah, it's the anxiety chart, man. If we're gonna see a $1,300 ether, we're gonna properly live through it. We only got $4 to go. $4 to go. Bitcoin's still doing okay at 40.85. So Ether should still theoretically have legs. Hopefully everyone's enjoying their Ether positions right now as we push towards $1,300. Still struggling, still holding against 1,300. Let's actually draw the line at 1,300 so we can visualize where we need to cross. So, well, here's more or less right there. So that's where we need to cross through. We can get rid of this line. That's where we want to get to. So all right, we have $5 to go. Let's check on the Ether Bitcoin valuation. So we're doing okay. We're at 0.0316, so we're still doing okay there. You know, it has moved up significantly in the last hour or two. It's moved up around 5% in an hour, which is pretty good, right? This is pretty good for Ether to move up 5% against Bitcoin in an hour. Looks like someone's selling. Bitcoin's still okay. Bitcoin's still at 40.8, so it's still doing okay here. Oh, getting a little bit of a dump, right? 1285, 1282. Maybe this isn't our stream. We're gonna come back up, shake him out. Yeah, so you can see Bitcoin is still It's still sitting still here at 40.8, so um, not a huge change. We're mainly watching Ethereum right now. Someone says they sold at 12.92. Well, we'll see if that was a good decision in the short term or not. I mean, again, if you needed the profits, there's nothing wrong with selling. If you needed the money, or you just want to take some risk off the table, nothing wrong with that. So the 1 hour chart, pretty nice move here. I mean, this is since January 2nd. I mean, January 2nd, a week ago, we were at 724. We had a major move up to 1169 or so, back down to 885, and then all the way back up, to this level, which was around 1292 or so. We've broken through that. So far, we've come back down a little. I'm not sure if we're going to make it, because I'm not going to keep the stream going forever. But we'll keep it going for a little bit longer and see if we can break it. This is our 1 minute. This is our 1 minute chart. A little bit of rejection here at 1300. Ether Bitcoin's 313. So it's come down a little bit. Bitcoin has come down a little bit too. So Bitcoin's at 40.7. The good old 1 minute chart, right? Yeah, I know Ether hit $1,300 on some exchanges, but the one we're watching, it hit $12.99. Maybe we're not gonna do it on stream. Maybe it'll have to happen after I end the stream, because I gotta go in about 10 minutes or so. The total market cap is, if you are not fully aware, which I imagine most people here are aware, we are over 1 trillion, right? So we're at 1.08 trillion now. All right, maybe it's not going to happen on stream. Bitcoin's coming down a little too, which might be causing Ether a little bit of hesitation. Bitcoin's at 40.6, so it's no longer sitting at 40.8. But Ether's still it has gained here on Bitcoin the last couple hours or so. Still up around 3.63%. Yeah, I think, do we have the Bitcoin dominant? Yeah, so the Bitcoin dominance, we have come back down some. Yeah, we were watching this the other day. So, so far it looks like, I mean, maybe right a lower high. Remember to subscribe to the channel. And also, you know, when we look at these charts, remember that the 2 years that Ether Bitcoin rallied when Bitcoin was above its 20-week, it lasted until the end of March, at least. We just have it showing towards the by the end of March. So these are not like daily things, right? It can take a while if in fact we are able to follow a similar trend. Yeah, you get access to the charts and the premium stuff, or the trading view indicators, anyways. Um, all right, maybe I mean we might not hit 1800. We might not hit 1300 on stream, but we'll see. We'll give it a few more minutes. I gotta go in about 9 minutes. Yeah, I mean it was Bitcoin pulled back a little bit, so it, you know, if you go look at the Bitcoin chart, the 1 minute, it came down, and I think that's probably what caused Ethereum to get spooked a little, right? Bitcoin drops about 0.7% in like 5 minutes or so, so it dropped almost 1% over 5 minutes. So obviously that's enough to spook Ethereum a little bit. All right, we're back to 1285. I mean, most people should understand this has been a bull market. I mean, the bull market can end it, you know, whenever it wants, but I don't think that most people would argue that this has been a bull market. I mean, it's basically just been up for the last like 10 months or so. Condre makes a good point. He says if the dumpers yell dump every single day, they'll eventually be right. That's the idea, right? Trying to predict the top, no one can really do it. If you keep doing it long enough, eventually you'll be right, and you can say, "Oh, see, I told you," but it doesn't take away from the, you know, from the 100 times of being wrong. Back to 1289. By the way, I do think, you know, I do think there's some not so smart money coming into the space right now. Doesn't mean they're not going to make money, but I mean, if you're buying Ether for the first time in your life at 1287, when it was less than $100 in March, um, just consider that, right? I mean, consider that, and nothing wrong with getting a position, but you have to recognize the potential downside in the short term. Uh, Hopefully Ethereum trends much higher over the next few years. It's not, you know, it's just a fact, right? It's not I'm not trying I'm just trying to alert people, you know, if you're coming into the market when the entire asset class is up 10x in 10 months, you have to realize there's some downside risk, right? You have to realize there's some downside risk. Well, the Ether Bitcoin valuation is still holding up, still around pi, 314, so it hasn't really moved. So basically, Ethereum is still just moving with Bitcoin during that little bit of Bitcoin volatility. Bitcoin's back close to 40.8, so there's no necessarily reason why Ethereum can't run here, but we'll see if it can. We got a few more minutes. Bitcoin dominance does continue to drop. So, I mean, you can see other coins. I mean, Link's above $17 again. Dot's closing in back to $10. ADA's back over 33 cents. These are 5-second candles. It's struggling. It's struggling here. Maybe it's gonna go up on the 5-second chart. Yeah, I guess this one's an anxiety chart too. Someone says 5 seconds is nice, but I like to trade shorter time frames. We have pulled up the 1-second chart. This is the anxiety chart. Well, we might not hit it on stream, which is a shame, because I feel like after we go off stream, we'll probably hit it. can take a quick look at Ether Bitcoin valuation has moved up slightly, so we're at 315 now. So it's still, Ether Bitcoin still holding strong. We're only $14 away from $1,300. $14 away. Another reminder that we do have the Telegram channel that you guys can join after the stream to continue the party. I'll post that in the chat. And also there's the premium list into the cryptoverse.com. Let's see if we can break through. Right here. Bitcoin is recovering back to 40.8, which, you know, this is a good thing. So hopefully Ethereum can get back to 12. I mean, we're still right on this line. We're moving. We're at 1289. Back to 1290, so we broke out here. 1291. Let's see if we can make another run at it. Only about $9 to go. Still at 1291. Bitcoin's back almost to 40.8K. It's at 47.98. Ether's 1292 and climbing right now. Let's take a look at the Bitcoin chart, because Ethereum still has a little ways to go here. So yeah, Bitcoin's moving slightly. It's at 40. It's 48.21, 48.04. So we'll see if we make it. If not, I'm sure we'll try again later. Or I guess we will. I don't really know. Yeah, obviously it's Brownian motion, right? Short-term moves are very unpredictable, right? Very unpredictable. Why is um, why is 1.3K such an issue? Probably just because it's a round number. People want to take profits, I guess. Um, it's like any, I mean, it's like any big number, or any round number, right? A lot of times people will take profits around those round numbers. Leo says if it hits 1440, he might buy a few to start the launch. $10 away. Bitcoin still doing okay around 47.61. Obviously, this we're not really doing any useful analysis on this live stream. Just trying to see if we can usher in a $1,300 Ether. $8 to go. Bitcoin still holding strong, so hopefully Ether doesn't get spooked again like it did over here. Slowly climbing up. $12.93, $12.94. So again, that's more or less where we're trying to go. Someone says he accidentally bought $2,500 Ether back in the days. If you accidentally bought $2,500 Ether back in the day, I'm sure you're doing quite well now. Yeah, let's look at Ether Bitcoin. Ether Bitcoin's looking strong again too. It's back to 0.0317. Someone noted that in the chat. So yeah, Ether Bitcoin is starting to pick back up again at 0.0317. So it's back to being up about 5% in the last 2 hours. All right, we're at 1297. 1297. We just had a wick up to 1299 again, actually. We went to 1299.05. Are we gonna make it? We're $2 away. Getting a little bit of resistance at the same level. Same level here at 1299. So close. So close. Oh man. We were so close again. We hit 12.9905. All right, I gotta wrap it up in about 2 minutes. Remember, we have the Telegram channel. You guys can check that out if you guys want to continue the party after the stream. And there's also the premium list. You guys can check that out too. We'll probably do another. Maybe we'll do another stream tonight if the volatility is still, still rather high. Right? If the volatility is still high, then we'll keep streaming later on today. Doesn't look like we're going to catch it on stream unless we just get a massive wick back up to the top. All right, bye, Kevin. Yeah, I mean, I feel like, it's not financial advice, of course, but I feel like it's only a matter of time before we break it. We just don't know exactly when it's going to break. But I mean, there's so much pressure. There's so much buying pressure. And especially with the upward momentum of Bitcoin, it seems like it's a matter of time. But again, we'll just have to wait and see. Yeah, I'm sure there's massive sells at 1300. I mean, there usually are at these big round numbers. It doesn't mean it can't break through it, right? A lot of volume can come in at these where it pushes, where it's getting up to a new local top. Actually, Bitcoin's actually looking pretty good. It's back above 40.8. So it's still, Bitcoin volatility is still pretty low. So again, there's nothing necessarily keeping Ether from running here. Will Ethereum equal the price of Bitcoin? Most likely not, no. All right, looks like we're coming back down some. So I mean, there's a good chance. There's a good chance Ethereum will take a few more runs at $1,300. Hopefully, we break it eventually. You can see we've already had since being on stream, we've had 2 tests more or less of $1,300 or just shy of it. So maybe the third test, maybe if it comes back up, oops, maybe the third test will put us through. But again, if you guys like the content, remember to subscribe to the channel. Most of our content on YouTube is more useful than just looking at minute charts. But every once in a while, we just come on stream and watch the price because it's really fun to do. So make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you guys want to see more content like this, or again, we do have other videos that are a bit more useful. All right, I'll post the Telegram chat one more time. We have over 12,000 people in the Telegram chat, so again, the party doesn't have to stop with the live stream. I'm not gonna leave the video running. You can always just go to TradingView and watch the chart on your own screen. Maybe one last push. We'll see. And got through 1295. Yeah, we looked at the dominance. It's coming down. Bitcoin dominance does seem to be coming down here. $4. So close. I feel like, I mean, actually Bitcoin dropped down $100, so that might be contributing. Ether Bitcoin still looks strong. 0.0317, almost 0.0318. $3 away. We're $3 away. Still 1297. I'm taking one last run at it, and then we're gonna go 1298, 1298, 1299, 1299, 1299, 1299.70, 1299.90, 1300. We did it. Victory. We made it. We made it. There it is, boys and girls. All right. So we made it to $1,300. We're a little bit back down below it now, but it's, you know, we accomplished our goal. You know, we'll see if we can push past it, but we accomplished our goal. You know, we came out with a mission at the beginning of the stream. Said we want to see a $1,300 ether. We made it. Maybe tonight, you know, maybe tonight we'll come back and do a stream on a $1,400 ether. Okay. This will depend on if Bitcoin volatility stays low, and if Ether can continue pushing past 1,300. But if it can, then maybe in about 6 hours from now, we'll do a stream. And if you're curious as to whether I'll do a stream, it will likely depend on where Ether is. You know, if it's still sitting at 1,300, or if it's say 1,250 or something, then probably we're not going to do a stream. But if over the next 6 hours we're pushing past 1,300, going to 1,320, 1,340, 1,350, then we'll probably do a live stream and maybe even try to usher in a $1,400 ether, which is getting very close to the all-time high. Here we're back at $1,300. So, you know, it ain't much, but it's an honest day's work, right? It's an honest day's work to get to usher in a $1,300 ether, and here it is, off to the races. I told you guys, you know, yeah, there's a lot of selling pressure at 1,300. There's going to be a huge sell wall, but you know, once you break through it, it can start flying, right? It can start flying 1,301, but we'll see what happens. Remember, if you guys like the content, subscribe to the channel, give the video a thumbs up. Remember, there's also the Telegram channel, which you can find a link to in the description below, and then there's also the premium list at intothecryptoverse.com. So, congratulations to everyone who followed the stream and watched us break it. Let's just relive it for a minute. Okay, we came on stream. You guys remember that time we came on stream? We pushed up. We thought we were going to break it here. It said, just kidding. Back down to the depths of despair. The depths of despair. Then we had new life. Got rejected again. And then we pushed through. And then we thought we were going to break it again. And then it said, just kidding. And then one last push. We said that maybe the third time's the charm. And here we are. We're looking at a $1,300 ether. So we did bring in history today. So thank you guys for tuning in. Subscribe so you'll catch the stream in about 6 hours if Ethereum volatility stays high. And also remember that Bitcoin is still doing what it needs to do in order for Ethereum to keep moving like this. So Bitcoin's staying fairly constant. Ether's moving. Therefore, the Ether Bitcoin valuation is still moving up. So the Ether Bitcoin valuation is now up over the last 3 hours or so, closing in at 6%, or an Ether Bitcoin valuation of nearing 0.032. Hopefully we still have a ways to go, but remember, it's not all going to happen overnight. It might take a while for all this to play out. So thank you guys for tuning in. We'll continue this later. Subscribe, give the video a thumbs up, and we will see you next time. Bye.